It's right outside.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Um, you're an assistant principal.
Mm-hmm.
Pekin, is that down there? Down there like by Peoria?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like 30 minutes away.
Okay. Yeah, I think I've seen it when I was driving down there the many, many, many times. I used to do events down there all the time.
It's kind of off the path, I guess.
Uh-huh, but I think I
People
remember seeing the
normally
signs.
go, what's that?
I remember seeing the signs.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. So I'm recording this for Jolene, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me, when did you sign up and how did you sign up?
When did I sign up? I think like March of 2020,
Okay.
2 or 2021. It's been like a year and a half. So
Okay.
I guess not 2020. Um, so I was diagnosed with colon cancer and then had colon resection surgery. I'm in remission now. And right after the surgery, I had to stay home for a couple of months to recoup and started getting back into just mindfulness, gratitude, working on myself, trying to put myself in a positive mindset. And I saw a post that Jolene put on. I think she was in like a hotel room on the balcony of the beach, and she had her laptop and she was working, and I don't even remember what the post said, but it was basically the opportunity to work from anywhere. And so I knew that she was into fitness. But I didn't quite know like what she was all doing.
Yeah.
So I just reached out to her, even though she had reached out to me a few times prior to, but it was probably years prior to this. So I reached out to her just to ask her what she was doing. And actually, I don't even know if I asked that, to be honest. I think I just said, sign me up. I'm ready. Like, how can I do this? So I did get signed up. Then I started chemo and I just did not do much at all. Nothing, definitely, when it came to the business. Um, until so it was like March. I think I started working in like October of not this last October, but the October before is when I
Okay.
actually started working the business.
Okay. Wow. So when you signed up with her, you signed up to work the business?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
Okay. And so you got on the products and the programs and everything like all at the same time? You weren't on the
Mhm.
products before.
No, I was familiar with Beachbody, but no, this was my first experience with the whole online platform. And I knew that, so with doing this, I signed up to coach because I knew that it would provide me with ultimate accountability because I needed to get healthy myself and keep
Mhm.
myself accountable. So that I think like the main reason overall, but also the life of knowing that you can work and do other things other than what I'm doing right now. That also appealed to me as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I did not know any of that about you. Okay. So what have been your results so far with body?
I like as far as products and
Mhm.
transformations,
Mhm.
I've I've had great results with like just the fitness programs. I have managed to be consistent just about every single day, at least 5 times a week,
Mhm.
consistent.
Mhm.
Nutrition is still something that I struggle with, but I drink my shakes every single morning. I switched from, I work 45 minutes away. So I would basically get up last minute, rush to work, didn't leave time for breakfast. So I was going through drive-throughs every single morning to get coffee and something to eat. So I have transitioned to the shakes. My husband also loves the shakes, so he's on them as well. But so that has definitely helped me. My experience with Energize, that's probably my favorite product out of all. I used to have an excuse of why I couldn't make it to the gym, why I couldn't
Mhm.
work out. My schedule changed at work, so I was working later, and I was like, well, I can't make it anywhere anymore. So this allowed me to get it done first thing in the morning. So I have like zero excuses now. I just got to get my ass out of bed, and that's about it. So with fitness and being consistent there, I think I've been doing very well, and I have seen weight loss. I've seen toning. My body, like, just shape has changed.
Yeah.
Nutrition, I'm still working on it. I still eat things I'm not supposed to eat all the time, but I did the ultimate reset in February, and that was great. And then I've done like portion fix before, but I'm still working towards consistency when it comes to nutrition.
Yeah, that's okay.
Let me
So,
shut this door because my dog is
oh, sure.
barking.
Okay.
Sorry
So
about that.
it's okay. Would you say, have you lost weight?
Yes.
Okay. How
Yes.
much weight
I
have you
lost like
lost?
20 pounds.
Okay. With what
And
program?
I still have my the first program that I did was Morning Meltdown. So I lost quite a bit doing that, but I would say I did gut protocol, and I did that all the way through, and 4 weeks for everybody. That was
Okay.
probably my biggest transformation that I've had when I followed
Okay.
both of those programs together.
Okay. Okay. Um, okay, we'll go back to that. All right. So
Okay.
I wrote down, I mean, I'm reading your goals. Are these new goals? Are these goals that you like reset after being in the business for a while, or are these always your goals?
um be honest, Kristina, I don't even remember what I wrote down. I could just share with you what my overall, like, big scary goal. I would love to be
Mhm.
a millionaire for one. But really I'm looking for peace of mind. I'm looking for time freedom, financial
Mhm.
freedom, ability to travel, do things on my own terms. I'm really looking for a change.
Yeah.
And so those are I think my big goals.
Mhm.
The goal coming into this business was a part of me was that, but also is just, let's get healthier, get your crap together. I mean, obviously you have cancer, so you need to take better care of yourself. So that's what
Right.
really that's what keeps me going each day,
Right. Of
is
course.
reminding myself of why I started in the first place.
Of course. Absolutely. Okay.
What
So,
did I write down?
huh?
What did I write down on your paper?
No, you know, that's what you wrote down. You wrote down
Okay, all right.
Legacy Club and 10,000 per month so I can quit my 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a minute. All right, so I mean, to build 6 figures, which is 100K, which is 2,000 a week, which is still shy of your 10,000 per month,
Mhm.
but something that can really be measured is, I mean, you're looking at building 5 leaders. And when my mentor said that to me, it didn't seem so overwhelming because he was like, all you need is 5 people who are hungry for change. Exactly what you just said. You're looking for people just like you who are sick and tired of being sick and tired, feeling the way that they feel, maybe not just about their health and their fitness, but the situation that they're in, their families in, their kids are in, whatever the case may be. So when you look at, um, what we like to call it is a 5-star diamond. Okay. So a 5-star diamond is what you truly want is 5 leaders, 5 hungry leaders who also want to build a full-time income. That's your goal. That's what you're looking for. That's what you have to start manifesting. That's what you have to start building hot lead lists on. That's what you need to start to talk to people and invite people into the business, people like you. You need 5 people like you, and then you need 5, and then you need to help those 5 people get to where they want to go. So what I like to tell people is you hit the rank first, and then you put a year in. And people are like, I know what people think there. It's like a year. But what happens in that year is you've got to get them over the hill. You get these people in, right? And then what happens? They have to go through their transformation. They use the products, they fall in love, then they start to do the things, and you have to help them get those wins and build that list. And it's this journey, right? We're not on this journey. And if you are on this journey, there's going to be drops at certain points. So the goal would be 5-star diamond. And that is, at least 2 leaders on each leg. And then putting a year in hard. And then from there, what I tell people, when you're making 6 figures and you want to make 7 figures, it's helping your leaders make 6 figures. It's helping your leaders go 5-star. I mean, that is as simple as this business is. It's not easy, but it's simple when you understand it like that. Now, you can also go 5-star diamond by people, just going diamond, but going diamond not necessarily to build the business that you want to build. So you can also be at that rank and not be making that kind of income. And that's why, because you could have people on your team who, either hit a level and they're okay at that level and they don't want to go any further, right? Or fall back or different things like that. So ultimately, that's what you're looking for. And you're looking to start with 2. So starting with 2 people, 1 leader on each leg, for me right away, that was like Shauna. And then my first friend that I shared it with was Amy. And you just kind of start building it from there, because you never really know who's going to do it. In the beginning, they might tell you one thing, right? But across the journey, you don't know. So you just have to keep putting people on your team. And then you have to consistently be interviewing. We like to call it sorting, but truly you're interviewing people to find out what they want and cast your vision with them and then help them get there. Does that make sense?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. So given that, who are your hot leads? Like, who are the people that need this and you think would be awesome and you want them on your team, but for whatever reason, you maybe haven't talked to them yet?
Honestly, I feel pretty comfortable when it comes to bringing on customers. The coach part is where I really need to work on my mindset, because I do not have the confidence yet that I feel like I should have or need to have. And maybe, I know you guys say that you don't even need, I'm being a critic of myself right now, but for leads right now, I have reached out to people that have expressed interest in fitness that I've known in the past, that currently work at gyms, but they have not been interested at this point. I don't have any friends right now that are necessarily interested, but I do talk about it and I drop nuggets here and there. My best friend, she wants to do a career change. And so I've talked to her about like, hey, while you're at work now and you're miserable, you could also be working on this, she's waitressing part-time right now. I'm like, hey, you could be making you're great on social media. You could be doing this. So I do connect and talk about it. I just haven't been able to execute yet. And I haven't been successful in that. So I definitely need to work on my connections and connecting with people that I don't really know now. Um, it I started off with just doing invites, and I think I've turned some people off because I didn't start with connections, and I've been learning like, hey, you need to just connect with people, be a genuine person, care about people, lead with that first, and worry about the other stuff afterwards. So I'm hoping like with that shift of things, I'll see some change. But I do not have a written list, and maybe that's my homework assignment. But I don't have a written list of the people that my hot list right now. But I could definitely
You
create
haven't
one.
ever made one.
I have made a list of 100. When
Okay.
I first started, I made my list of 100 and I worked off of that. But in terms of like recruiting for coaches and like business partners, I have not like written a separate list for those individuals.
So you don't really
Or
you don't need to make a separate list. You just need to look at that list and go, who needs to make money? Right?
yeah.
Who needs this? It's not who I think would be a perfect fit. There's who you want to work with, but
Hmm.
there's also like who needs this, right? So I think you're trying to carve out this perfect person that doesn't exist.
Okay.
The reason that people sign up for the business is for the discount. Number one,
Mhm.
that's the number one reason they want to get 25% off. The second reason is they want to earn their products free, and that's financial, right? And then the third reason is they want to make some extra income, and not everybody does. So some people will sign up just for the discount, and then some to get it free, and then some to make some extra money. And out of 10 people you sign up, maybe one or two will like really want to make some income. So it's a numbers game all the way around. It's a numbers game to bring people in. And then as you bring people in, you have to bring in 10 people to maybe find one or two of those leaders.
Okay.
So when you invited your best friend, like what did she watch anything or look at anything, or was it just a conversation that you had?
No, she's a customer. I have her listed as a preferred customer right now.
Okay.
So she uses Shakeology. She also uses the programs, not consistently, but she is a customer. So I'm getting somewhere. Um, my sister also, I hope once I start seeing more success, I can start, talking more with her because I think she'd be great at it as well. And she's also a preferred customer. And I've had some other preferred customers that have kind of canceled that part. So honestly, I might only have
So who
two
is
right now.
Dan? Which one's Danny?
That's my sister.
Okay. And then Melissa is your best friend?
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. So, all right. So that's good that they're already signed up as preferred customers. So now it's just a matter of upgrading them, like you're saying. So now it's a matter of like your sister's active, going to her and asking her, would she be interested in earning her products free? That would be enough of an advantage for her to upgrade to
Hmm.
be a partner, so that she would have that opportunity to refer people, and that you would help her do that. Um, but Okay, so I'm gonna stop there. And then the other option is if they're not interested in the business, then you can always ask them if they would host an event for you. Like they could, would you support me in hosting a party for me? 10 people in your kitchen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that way you're still she's still supporting your business and you're getting in front of like her Verizon network. Ultimately, that would have been her network, right? And that's something, if you can do it in person, I would do it in person. But sometimes people just need to see the opportunity presented to them. So, do you think that is the case? Do they need to hear it from somebody else? Do they need to, see this from maybe
Yeah.
different eyeballs? Or
Mm-hmm.
or do you think no, that they're just probably not interested?
Yeah. Dee Dee and I planned a shake party for May 4th. And I was going to invite her to that as well because I thought it would be better for other people besides myself to speak about, yeah, the
Okay.
business.
Okay. So that's
But
good.
I'm not opposed to, I'm going to ask her to, if I could have her host a party for me. That's a great idea.
Yes. I would do it with both of them. Are you able to invite both of them to May 4th?
My sister lives in Denver.
Okay. All right. So that's then what I would, okay, so you invited Melissa.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's fine. So Melissa will be exposed at the party to eat. I don't know if Jillian's gonna Skype, I almost said Skype, Zoom in for you guys. But either her or I should. And then she would be exposed there to the upgrade. Um, at least to get her products free, to earn her shake free, to be exposed to the opportunity to hear stories. That's all you can do to people, for people. Like you need to look at it like I need to just show the opportunity, let them make the decision, let the presentation, do the talking, and then follow up with people. But if she's not interested, it's not her for her. Remember, timing's everything. Um, then you could ask her if she would be interested in supporting your business. You're in a 60-day run right now and you're looking to gain new customers and share this with more people. Would she host an event for you? All she has to do is invite, you'll give her some free product, so that this is ways to get in front of more people, and because they're already on the product, hopefully they'll give you a positive testimonial for their friends.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so those are two leads. I will tell you that like the biggest thing, Gabby and I were talking about this, I think the biggest thing is just you need to, and I don't mean you, but just in general, is letting people know, especially when you're talking a warm market, like your top 10 list, your family, your friends, your neighbors, coworkers, yada, yada, yada. You're inviting them and you're letting them know, like, I think you would be great at this because of X, Y, and Z, and I'd love to have you on my team.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's enough right there. If you already have that relationship with people, who else is already involved? Like who is a customer that was like in your warm market? You have a lot of people?
Yes,
Okay.
most of them are. And
Okay.
I was gonna invite quite a few customers that I have right now to the shake party because I
Yeah.
do want to convert them to, I'm cutting out the preferred customer, only promoting the coach opportunity, but for the discount would be
Right.
my goal for them.
Right. Right. And so try to start using partner. I actually just logged in and there's a pop-up now and it says we're officially changing coach to partner to, include more people. So that's
Mm-hmm.
awesome. Um, but yes, I would, because a preferred customer, it's really a dead end. Unfortunately, they're getting the benefit, you're not really getting any benefit except someone's holding an active spot in your organization, which helps you go emerald,
Mm-hmm.
but other than that, you're not getting that commission every month, and they're not able to grow, they're not able to sponsor, they're not able to get their products free, anything like that. So it usually doesn't go anywhere. So you want to bring them in as a partner for the discount for sure, or let them be a customer. So I would focus on that party, inviting as many people, warm market to that party. And then even though, have you talked to Jillian about that party yet? Is she
Yeah,
coming?
I think she's gonna make it. Uh-huh.
Okay. So even though she'll be doing the presenting and talking about like how helping people get started, when I did Gabby's party with her, even though I was doing that, when we invited people to get started and we had to walk around the room and help people fill out their order forms and stuff, I don't have the relationship with those people, right? Like Jillian doesn't have that relationship. So Gabby had to be the person that was basically like upselling. So they would fill out, that they wanted X, Y, and Z on their order form. We would walk around, help them pick flavors and help them put their orders through. And so I would show her, I'd be like, hey, okay, this person's ready to get started, as a customer, do you want to confirm that with her? So she would take the order form over, she would go talk to her and she'd be like, hey, you know, I just wanted to remind you, you can lock in a discount with this. I really think you should do it. And like every time she did that, every single person upgraded. And so it's the relationship and it's her just being like, you should do this. Like
Mm-hmm.
I always use that analogy of like when you go shopping with a girlfriend and you go in the dressing room to try something on and you like it, you put on a black dress, you like it, but then you go out and you're like, what do you think? And depending on what they say is what is like, if you're going to buy it or not. Because if they're like, oh, I don't know about that, then you're like, really? I thought it was really cute. But if they're like, oh my gosh, yes. And you're like, okay. And even if it's like not on sale or anything, like it's that affirmation over and over and over again. And so don't underestimate that that's the relationship part of this business. So you're offering it, you're suggesting it, you're recommending it. You can't make people want to do it, of course, but you will find that if you just do that, more people will. So definitely I would put a lot of my energy on that and seeing what comes out of it. The people that come, hopefully too, what happens is they buy other products. So that's what we've seen too. We've seen that the people that were already customers, they either bought other products that they didn't have or they upgraded.
Mm-hmm.
We saw that. So because now they heard it a different way. So I think that's huge. And then I think it's just, you said you signed up a lot of your warm market as customers, right? Yeah. But those customers have never really seen the business opportunity.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of like revisiting that with
Mm-hmm.
them in different ways. and inviting them to get started, or I shouldn't say to get started, inviting them to upgrade.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you just have to start doing it. Like first, I just feel like you have, when I was like saying you have to like manifest your team, like you have to manifest your team. You in the aspect of like the characteristics of the people that you're looking for. You have to think about, you know, like what's important to you. Who are the people that you're looking for to build your team with, and you dump that on paper first. You know, characteristics, like for me personally, like super down to earth, genuine, honest, no drama, hardworking, things like that. Unshakably positive people. Start to manifest that as you then go back and revisit your list. Who do you need to talk to about the business opportunity? And then just start doing it. So one of the things that I did when I was building my business was like, I didn't go to bed at night unless I talked to one person about my business. And I mean, on the phone or in person or in a voice message on a messenger, like every day, one person. You have to think that you have to think about the fact that this can change their life. And so you have to lead with that. If you're not leading with that, like this is a business that's built off of energy, and it's contagious, and people want to join because of FOMO, right? And so that's the place you have to come from, is how it's helped you, all the things you told me, but also where you want to go. And so that's what you kind of have to package and put together and start putting that message out there. So do you have your story packaged in a place and in a way where when you share it, it's simple and it helps you to get new customers?
I wouldn't say packaged, no. I have like put my story out there, but definitely could be revised. I also worry about, I have my employers all on Facebook with me. So I always get worried about talking about what I want to do in the future, because I don't want to burn any bridges right now currently.
Yeah, you don't need
So
to
I
do
have
that
not really
publicly.
spoken about that. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I can see that. I can understand that. I don't think you need to do that publicly. You can do it in private messages or face to face and with who you select. If you feel like that could get back to them, then it's not really worth it. And I'll just give you some examples so you can kind of like get some ideas. But I would package your product story into, you know, as much as you can. Here's how it helped me, whether it was fight cancer, get through cancer, recover, right? But also help me to lose 20 pounds, right? Stick with one program, one nutritional. You can always layer those on. You can layer the other things on later, but it just complicates it. You want to keep it super simple. And so for me, it was like I lost 10 pounds doing P90X, drinking one chocolate shake a day. You know, I never talk about that I actually was teaching classes alongside P90X, and I was taking the P90X bars, and I was taking the recover shake, and I was like all the things, right? I'm just narrowing it down and keeping it simple. So packaging your story in like a Google Doc where you can post it on a regular basis. You can just maybe revise it here and there, but also where you can share it with people like through Messenger or something. Whether you want to make a YouTube video or a blog post or something that could be more evergreen. If not, just use a Google Doc. That's easy. Something that you can share all the time. Your product story needs to literally be like, it should roll off your tongue, and it should be, like in a minute. It should be pretty quick. This is how the products have changed my life, and this is why I'm passionate about it. But what most people may not know as well is that, it's also an amazing business opportunity. And it's something that I'm doing alongside my full-time job, having a blast with the goal to, whatever you want to say there, with the goal to, one day be able to, right? If you don't want to say replace my job, replace my full-time income, put my kids through college. Didn't you say that somewhere?
Yeah. Yep.
So there you go. You could say something like that. I want, this is the business that's going to help my family travel twice a year and put my kids through college. People get that, and they connect it, and they're like, oh, okay. So what is it? Or how do you actually, then they're like, tell me more. And that's what you want. You want that curiosity, but I feel like we have to be a little bit more bold with people and let them know, like, I was that person, like I'm always saying, like, I didn't have time to do anything that wasn't going to help me move forward physically and financially. So I would have said no to the business if I didn't feel like it had the potential to exceed where I was at personally, because I wanted that growth. So that's what you have in conversations. That's not something that I would post on social media, but that's something that you would say at the party, for example. That's what you have in one-to-one conversations. If you are, talking to someone and they're inquiring about, your story or whatever, that's the seeds you have to plant. And then you have to turn around and ask that question, to them. So did that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So you have your story, you have your goals, you have to share that with people, and then you just have to share with customers. You got to look at upgrade opportunities. So Sarah has some awesome systems for upgrading people as far as verbiage and whatnot. You're going to get to that inside some of the training. But a lot of times it's just being consistent and going back with those customers and how are you loving your product? Great. I don't know if I ever told you this before, but as a partner with Body, I get an awesome discount. I actually can earn my products free. Would you be open to hearing more about that? I mean, it's just as simple as that. And you will get people that will then look at your third-party tool, whether you're sending them to a webinar or you're sending them a PDF. I created a PDF. It's in boards now. It's under business opportunity, and it's the basics on the business opportunity. So that's what Gabby and I did last week. Talked about that, like to share with her prospects and stuff. So it's putting that exposure in front of them. It's starting the conversation, putting the third-party tool in front of them. What questions do you have that I can answer for you? I'd love to help you get started, and And it's a numbers game. But I would just start with going back to your list and highlighting anyone that you want to revisit to become a partner, whether it's for the discount or they need this, like they need to make extra income. And I went off on a tangent, but I started saying before that people need this. They do need this business, right? Like, where would you be without it? Right? Where would I be without it? Where would Jolene be without it? So they need what you have. You have to know that and believe that and see past everything else.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's hard. It's hard, but I mean, all you can do is look at yourself and say, well, what if I never got started? What if Jolene was too afraid to post that? Or what if Jolene was too afraid to actually have that conversation with me when I messaged her, you know? And so it's really the same thing. And for you to get to your goal, you have to help 5 people get to their goal first. That's how this works. So you're looking for people ultimately that want to make a full-time income doing this. You want to build 5 diamonds. So to find those 5 diamonds, you have to just start by, one of my mentors told me it's like a deck of cards. So you're going to flip over. Each card you flip over is a person you talk to about your business. And there's 2 aces in a deck of cards. And your aces are like your people, like the people you want on your team, you know. But most people stop flipping the cards because it's hard, right? And so you do have to do the activity, but you have to do it in a way also that's like that's you, that it should feel good. It shouldn't feel like, you know, awkward or, you know, anything like that. Like, you've got to get your groove into doing it too. But for me, I just made a list. I knew like the type of people I wanted on my team, and the type of people is characteristics. And I look for leaders. So like, you're in a leadership role, right? So you get that. And so people that are in leadership roles, now I've always been in a leadership role, so I get that. But like, I feel like everybody has strengths coming into this business. They just have different strengths, right? So I look for people who have leadership qualities, because when they come in here, they get it. They get that it's about building a team, and they're not afraid to start to go and build that team. Right? And you know, have conversations with people and interview people and things like that. So for me, build a list. I built a list, went through it, kind of brainstorm, you know, like, I know who I'm looking for personality wise, characteristic wise. And then I just filled my calendar with events. So I was working full time. I shared this on the call. I did personal development there and back in the car. And then as much as I could fill up every lunch hour, that's what I did. So every lunch hour was just literally like, at night, I would get on Facebook and I would just go through my list, and I'd be like, hey, you know, I'm working downtown now, because I was only downtown for a year. I'm like, and most people were downtown, you know. So do you want to meet up for coffee? Do you want to meet up for lunch? Do you want to come work out? You know, and so I would be posting about my business on social media. And then when I would meet up with people, sometimes, I would say most of the time, it would come up. They would ask me. I didn't even have to bring it up, right? They would ask me because I was consistently trying to inspire and motivate on social media. And that's that contagious part that people are like, okay, what are you doing? Right.
Mhm.
And so then it gave me that opportunity to tell them my story and why I was building it. And so, like the PDF I created, one of the things I put on there was, for example, the where it says become a body partner, it has the coach income earning statement. So back then I had that printed out. I had samples with me. I don't remember exactly what I had, maybe like a Shakeology brochure, a Shakeology sample, and the coach earning statement. And so that's kind of what I would use as my talking points. I'm like, I've lost 10 pounds. The programs are awesome. You know what the programs are, right? You've heard P90X, you recognize them. And they're like, yes. And I'm like, and I'm building a business and it's awesome. It's so much fun. Here's what it looks like. Here's here's the opportunity. I'm building a team right now. Can I send you more information? So I would say just enough to entice people, but not like do a presentation. I would give them just enough where they wanted to take the sample of Shakeology and they wanted to watch a presentation. And so then I would just be like, so I can just message you on Facebook later. Or do you want to give me your email? And they'd be like, yeah. And so we would still have lunch or coffee or whatever and not talk about it the entire time. And then I would go home and I'd be like, hey, it was so great to see you today. By the way, here's the video about what I'm doing. And I'd love to have you. Can you watch this, tomorrow? And I can follow up with you at this time or this time. And so I was like systematic with that process. Set a lunch date, get in front of that person and create a great experience with that lunch or coffee, just making a friend first. Then get them in front of a third party tool. Sometimes they weren't interested in the business. Sometimes they just wanted the shake or the workouts, right? And then sometimes they watched the business presentation and then they still only got on the shakes. And that's okay too. Like lead with the business and fall back on the product. But I was consistent with it. So I was like, here's the video. I'm working 10 hours tomorrow. But I have some time on my lunch hour. Do you have 10 minutes at noon or 12:30? Can I call you on my break? And I would like schedule the appointment. You can see how I'm doing this, right? And then it was all conversations. And then I still booked events. We would still do events on the weekends. So we were always doing like a regular business opportunity, a new coach training, like things like that, and inviting people to the house and sharing, and they would bring a friend. And we're just doing it regularly. So when you see that party happen, no matter what happens on that party, think about, what if I were to do it again? And then they could bring more people. Like that's always the goal. Everybody bring one. Bring one more. Because a lot of times people will be at the party, they'll be like, oh, my mom would love this, but she had bunko tonight or whatever, So it is just like consistently adding on and, encouraging more people to bring, next time. So, I mean, that's what I did. And I built my whole team that way. And I did events, all different types of events. When I very first signed up with Shauna, we made a list on the plane and we got home and we didn't even know what we were doing, but we knew we had to build a team. And so the following Friday, so 5 days later, we had a party at my house and we each invited probably about 10 people. And how many came? I mean, maybe 15, something like that. And we didn't have samples or products or anything. All we had was just like, we were excited. and we invited people to get signed up, and some thought we were crazy and some didn't. And some signed up and some didn't. But
Mhm.
that's it. Like, you know what I mean? You can't build your business for the people that think you're crazy. You can't build
Mhm.
your business for the some that won't. You're building your business for the some that will, the some that need it. You're always talking to that person. And I think that's a good analogy of like what you're talking about with the fear and the doubt, but also just like finding those people. I think we all think there's like these imaginary people that are just going to pop up that are going to join your team, and it doesn't work that way. Like, everybody goes diamond with their family and friends, and nobody says it, but that's the case. And
Mhm.
so if when people are skipping over those people and they're just trying to solely focus on social media cold leads, you're going to invite till the sun comes down, and your business is going to be still stuck in the same spot, because it takes so long to build the relationships on social media. And when those people do take action, most of the time they're going to take action on a product versus a relationship. Because when people sign up as a partner with you, like, they're saying yes to you really over body.
Mhm.
They're joining like your business, like your team. And so that's why like in person is everything and warm market is everything.
Yeah, I agree. I have a lot of work to do.
I mean, you just need to revisit everything, make a new list of prospects. I want you to come up with 10 hot prospects. And you can't think about whether they sign up or not. Like, that's not your job. Your job is to share this with people and follow up. And if it's not right for them and they're people that would support you, then maybe they'll host an event for you. Maybe they will refer people to you. You know, you can create your own referral and rewards program and give your family and friends $10, $15 Amazon, Target gift cards for each person they refer to you. So don't look at it as like in or out. Really,
Mhm.
it's like, to build what you want to build, everybody's got to be in. Like you, your husband, like, how old are your kids?
17 and 18.
Okay, so where are they with this? And where's your husband with this?
My husband is signed up as a coach, but he's about ready to lose his coach status
And
because he
what about
doesn't
your
have any
husband? What
act.
does he do full time?
He works for Maui Jim Sunglasses. He's their lab engineer.
Okay. Does he, like, have you talked with him about this as far as like, even, does he know the potential of what's in this? Does he support that? Does he get it, or does he
He's
not
the
know?
he no, he doesn't get it. He supports me in everything that I do. He uses the products. He does believe in the products. Um, he does not believe in the business opportunity. But I think that's because honestly, I take care of all the money, so he has no idea even how, what I've brought in. I had my highest paycheck a couple weeks ago, and it was almost 500 bucks in a week. And I was like, fuck, sorry. I was like, heck yeah. But he has no idea because I haven't shared any of that with him. So maybe I need to share more of what I'm doing and how I'm doing. And yeah, I'm hoping that he'll come around, but he's just definitely not there yet. He always he still gets into like, it's a pyramid scheme. I'm like, okay, so what is pyramid scheme? Tell me about that. And we've had those conversations and just discussions back and forth. But He's not sold on it on the multi-level marketing yet.
Okay.
So,
So, I mean, ultimately, all you want them to know is like that you're going for this and why you're going for this. And then always leveraging the success partner. So
mhm,
for me, I was telling my husband, I don't know, but Christine's making 1,000 a week. I don't
mhm,
know, but Craig made, 6 figures. Oh, Craig was my mentor. So
mhm,
always leveraging. And so I tell that to my personally sponsored coaches too. Like I tell them, you can tell your best friend, or you can tell your husband, or you can tell, whatever, that your business partner, we don't want to say like upline, right? But like your business partner has built a 7-figure business with Body, and you're working with her one-on-one to build your business. Now
mhm,
people are like, oh, wait, what?
mhm,
You know what I mean? So you have to leverage that because of the industry that we're in. You know what I mean? Because like my husband still says that, like jokingly, but he's still like, it's a pyramid. Like, but
mhm.
so I mean, it's just like it is what it is, kind of thing. But here's the facts. The facts are you can use the income earnings. You can say, one of my business partners that I'm working with, I just did a call with her. She's built a 7-figure business with Body, and she's been doing it for 15 years. Because that's the other thing, right? Like my husband always said from the very beginning, okay, but how long is it going to last?
Mhm.
How long do you actually think you can do that for? So I mean, I get it. And you don't need to overcome all of those answers, but you just want him on board for one, support, but two, this is about building a network.
Mhm.
So him helping you with that list, him
Mhm.
sharing the
He does do that.
okay. Okay.
So like so he works out with me every morning and I always post it on my story. And so I get tons of comments. People come up to us in public that we haven't talked to in years, just commenting on him. He's always the star of the show. So people do reach out to him and ask, like at work, they comment on it. So whenever, so the other day he was like, Brittany said that she was thinking about getting involved with Beachbody. He was like, you should probably reach out to her. And so I did, and she never got back to me. And I followed up, didn't get back to me. And so I'll continue to try, but maybe I should have him have more of a conversation with that
So
person
is
versus
who's Brittany?
Brittany is just a girl that he works with.
Oh yeah, okay, perfect. Okay. So do you have
Which
her?
I actually grew up with, so I know her personally. So there's
Okay.
people, and he talks, he's not convinced about the whole business opportunity, but he is 100% supporter of me and the business, and he
Right.
wants me to succeed and do well. So he's definitely providing me with referrals, but he's not working the business himself.
Oh
And
yeah,
like,
no, he doesn't need to. As long as he's supporting, is he's bringing you leads and he's not standing in your way, then that's
mhm,
really all you need.
yeah.
But if you have her email?
Yeah, I have her on Messenger.
Okay, so yeah, it's just like any other lead. So with someone like that, I would try to meet up with her. See, that would be my approach. I would just,
Hmm.
if I at all possibly could, if she's local,
Yeah.
because you could bring her a shake, right? Like she's already exposed and kind of knows a little bit. So if she would meet up for coffee or whatever, you could bring a sample or make her a shake ahead of time and tell her that, hey, I'd love to blend you up, some samples. Do you like vanilla, whatever, however you want to do it. If she absolutely wouldn't do that, you can invite her to the party. If she absolutely wouldn't do that, you can send her, you know, hey, if I send you a video explaining, I love the new video. The new video, I don't know, it's called it's like, if you fail, you're gonna fail. That video, it's 6 minutes. I feel like that's the video. That's the video we should be using. It doesn't talk about the opportunity though, but it talks about everything else. And so I feel like, you know, hey, if I send you a 5-minute video that explains what it is that we do, will you watch it? And I'd love to throw some samples in the mail if you can't get in touch with her. But you can use this approach with everybody that he sends you that's local, right? So you send her the video, whether or not she watches it, you send her the sample. Those are 2 exposures. And that's how you have to look at it. Exposure, 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 and follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up. And then you inserting your story and then your personal like confidence level, talking about the business and building your team, that really just grows over time, and it grows by just doing it, like getting people on board, you know, but inviting her to do that, you know, it can help you make some extra money or just earn your product free, yada, 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 and invite them to get started or fall back on the product and just start putting people on your team. But if he can plant that seed for you, like that you are building a business, you are building a team, like that would be like the icing on the cake. And that's only going to happen with you, like having that conversation with him. But I mean, your marriage is first. You, you know what I mean? Like you'll know when the right time is to do that, but leverage success that is in front of you. So that's key. That way you don't feel like, you know, you can say, I just made my car payment. I just had my biggest check ever and it made my car payment. You don't want to say the amount, you know, but those are things you want to share because then people are like, oh. And you also got to be careful not to be like so health and fitnessy. Like, in other words, you have the story of starting in a place where I can't even imagine what you went through. So you started when you were, you know, in a place that might be some people's lowest low. And so that's a story that needs to be shared, right? Like I started when I was at this place in my life, I knew I needed to start to take care of myself. But I also, right? And then you talk about the business, right? But I also saw this as an opportunity to start building my dream on the side. My partner was doing it. She was working from anywhere, earning extra vacations, you know, because people, it's intimidating. I think that's probably our biggest hurdle, is that it's intimidating. Health and fitness in general is intimidating. So you already have that as a hurdle. So you don't want to add anything else to it. So you want to let people know, like, I did this, I started when I was here, right? And it helped me to achieve X, Y, and Z. And now I'm so passionate about it, right? I'm building a business and building a team, helping other women do the same thing, right? You see where I'm going in with all this, right?
Where can I find that video, the if you fail?
I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Yeah, I found it on Vimeo, but it was hard to find. So I'm guessing, I don't know if it was, you know, and not public or something like that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so make go through your list again, make a minimum list of at least 10 hot leads and start to talk to 10 people at once. like you're trying to have 10 conversations that lead to an exposure, that lead to a follow-up, always 10. When one person falls off because they're not interested or they signed up, you add a new person on. And so you're always talking 10. If you're talking to 10 people, then you're going to be one or two of them are going to be signing up.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I think, a lot of it's just vision for you. A lot of it is just deciding what you want, putting it on paper, putting it up where you're going to see it, writing out your goals, your big goal. You 5 leaders equals a 6-figure income, and start manifesting who those 5 people are, start writing out the characteristics of them. And then, I ran my business in my dining room at my old house. That's like what I had at the time. I didn't have an office. And so I just had like, big Post-its up on my wall, but it was like in my face. Like, there's my goals. And I would like have the people that I was talking to right now, like in my face, in my face. If it's not in my face, it's so easy to just, not be there too,
Right. Yeah.
What questions do you have?
Nothing right now. I ended up signing up for that TeamZ app that Allison was posting about. And I really liked how it broke it down into manageable pieces of this is what you need to do each day. Even though I already know that, like breaking it down to a small amount each day that you're supposed to do, because I think I overwhelm myself by, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? So just setting a goal each day, sticking to it, and then yeah, over time, hopefully consistency, right, will pay off. But I will work on my list of 10 prospects. And I'm going to I start the conversations with each of those 10. And then based off of how the conversation goes, then eventually you invite or send them the third party tool.
Well,
Or for those that are close by, like actually get in person. Sorry.
Most of those people are probably not cold leads though. So you don't
So
need.
you're talking about the 10 that you're connecting with, those are cold people?
Oh, I was talking about 10 prospects for your business,
Yeah.
but also you just talking to 10 people. 10 people in the flow of not just starting a conversation with them, but probably to the point where you've done an exposure. So now
Okay.
yeah. And everything that like you're doing on TeamZ, it has to be like in addition, like alongside that, you need to just be focusing on putting the business in front of people. However you do that. I consider a shake party putting the business in front of people. I do, because they're going to be presented, they're going to hear the stories, and they're going to be presented with the 2 ways to get started and the benefits of that. So it doesn't always mean a webinar, but I feel like that's got to be your focus to put people on your team. And everything else is alongside it and might support that, but that's got to be the main thing.
Okay.
And are you doing events at your school, or have you thought about doing events at your school? Or
No, I'm a little hesitant because I don't want people to feel like I'm their boss, and I don't want them to feel like they're being pressured into signing up or doing the business or buying products. I have invited a couple. So I might have two or
And what
three
is
or
your, like, I gotta get off this call because I gotta go get ready for
yeah.
another call, but what is your network? Like, is your network teachers or is your network like other principals or no?
It's really all over the place. Really
Okay.
is.
Okay.
Um,
If you had teachers on
they-
your team, if you had teachers on your team, my goal would be teaching them how to do like tables at like school events.
Mhm.
I've had teachers who did fit clubs at school for the
Mhm.
teachers. They did biggest loser contests for the teachers live at the school, brought the projector or the laptop and they met, you know, whatever it was, twice a week or three times a week or whatever. And it was like for 60 days. And they did like
Mhm.
free ones. So like the opportunities are endless. And if you can't be the one doing that, you could be the one teaching other people how to do that, even if it wasn't teachers at your school, even if it was
Mhm.
teachers at other schools, you know? So I'm not quite sure who exactly your network is, but those are just ideas.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Something to think about.
Mhm.
All right. Well, hope that was helpful. And then when you make that list, send it to me.
Okay. Well,
And
thank you.
then
I'll see
we
you
can
in a few
strategize
minutes.
how to talk to those people.
Okay.
Okay. But
All
first,
right.
I want to see the list of people you're inviting to the party on May 4th.
Oh, geez. I don't have it written yet.
That's what you need to do. Those are
Okay.
all of that is more important than the other stuff.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Like you've got to put the priority. I worked with Gabby last year and she went diamond in two parties and two shake parties. It was
Yeah.
crazy. So put the energy on inviting to those. So yeah, send me that list when once you make it.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I'll see
Will
you in
do.
15.
All
Okay.
right. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.